today. When Dr. King gave his I Have a Dream speech, it encouraged others to get up and say, I'm not going to be treated like this anymore. Love kills hate was one of Dr. King's quotes. It meant that if someone doesn't like you, you should be the better person because your love will kill their hate. Martin Luther King let his love kill people's hate. Martin Luther King spoke for those who didn't have the voice to speak for themselves. When Dr. King was thrown into jail, he talked to people outside of the jail to end segregation. Dr. King risked his life fighting for African Americans to be treated equally. Not a lot of people would have had the courage to keep protesting after they have been knocked down so many times. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. And his dream came true. Dr. King represents someone who fights for what they believe can come true. If you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But whatever you do, you have to keep moving forward. And Martin Luther King kept on moving forward. Martin Luther King's legacy connects with me as a Black person because now I can do what I want, such as being a dancer, lawyer, or a doctor. Also, if it wasn't for Martin Luther King, it wouldn't matter if I was smart or if I wanted to be a doctor. As a Black United States citizen, I feel as if we shouldn't celebrate Martin Luther King on one day, we should celebrate him every day. If I don't believe in what someone is saying, I would think Martin Luther King stood for what he believed in, so I can too. Even today, his legacy inspires other people to stand up for what they believe in. Martin Luther King's legacy inspires not only African Americans, but every race. If I were to stand in Martin Luther King's shoes, I know I would be considered a hero for many people. Martin Luther King did a great thing for our people. He is a very important person in African American history. Even when his house got bombed, he did not stop protesting, marching, and going on boycotts. He kept on protesting. Do you know anybody that would have the courage to do that? After Martin Luther King's assassination, his legacy still lives on, and it will live on until the end of time. Thank you.
She is receiving her award for her essay.
Samantha, if you would like to join us, this is Samantha Harris.
My name is Samantha Harris, and this is my Martin Luther King Jr. essay. We all dream of leaving a legacy. Legacy, a word that shows accomplishment and hard work. How hard do you think it would be if you were treated like the minority, like you were the lesser than? You were the one who had to give up your seat. You were the one who couldn't go to school. And you were the one who had to use a separate drinking fountain just because of how you looked. Could you do it? Would you stand up for your rights? Dr. King did all his marches, his protests, and his speeches for a reason, to leave a lasting legacy to inspire future generations. A legacy that each and every person should be treated and seen as an equal, to be kind to all and treat all with respect. We have a lot of problems we need to fix in the world. One of the biggest problems is still racial inequality. If we solve this and bring people together, we will have more people working together to fix the rest of the problems. Recently, we have seen on the news there have been problems with police and African American citizens. In a Des Moines school, the students protested peacefully with a die-in. I think Dr. King would have been proud of the Des Moines students because he believed in peaceful protests. In Missouri, the people are destroying their own community and property. I think that is bad because they are ruining their own stores and cars. Will the stores come back? Will anyone want to visit the town? I don't think so because it seems very violent and not safe. I think they should follow Dr. King. They should protest peacefully and spread the word that racial inequality is wrong. People do not want to be seen as a stereotype. They want to be known for what they can accomplish. You should not make assumptions based on the way people look because you will be wrong. You won't get the chance to know people or to talk to them. You may miss out on making a good friend. Many people are already following in the footsteps of Dr. King. For example, the Des Moines students, some people in Ferguson, and Malala Yousafzai. I want to follow in his footsteps as well.
side of the African American promoted education for girls and nearly killed for it, but she survived and she continues.
Luther Johnson. Now, Luther, I would like you to tell us a little bit about the foundation you started, okay, before you leave. Could you do that for us today? Thank you.
Hello, my name is Luther. I would like to present to you my Martin Luther King essay. Martin Luther King Jr. believed in solving problems without violence. He wanted everybody to get along, all colors, boys and girls. I want people to be able to talk about problems and not fight or kill each other. So I started Killing in Violence. Martin Luther King Jr. and I have the same dream that one day everyone will get along, will be no hate or violence.
Okay, we are going to move on to our art contest winners. And first, I would like to call up Rachel Bradford. And what I'm going to have them ask them to do is just tell us a little bit about what inspired them, and just kind of describe why they created what they created with their art.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and when I did my piece, I thought of when he did the march and how everyone came together, different kinds of people, fancy clothes, non-fancy clothes. They all came together just so they can live in a community with everything. When people are judged by their color and they're fair, it's fair to them.
Sean, would you just like to come up and accept your certificate and your award, please? This is Sean Head. Sean's piece is on the right here, and he's our middle school art contest winner. Thank you, Sean. Okay, Jeremy.
Yes. Hi, I'm Jeremy, and I did what I did because I like the water fountains best in the video that we watched when we were doing the project. And I drew whites only because the video it said whites only in color. That's what I did, and I like that the best in the video. Thank you.
Let's just give them one more round of applause. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our keynote speaker, Kaya Carter. We are so fortunate to have Kaya with us this afternoon, a local peace activist and change maker, Des Moines resident, North High School grad. This venue really couldn't be more appropriate. Kaya spent much of her youth in the library system. She moved from Franklin to North, I think ended most of her time for us, but she's been everywhere. And I will never forget, and Ash Molson can say the same, when the day that Kaya turned 12, she had her volunteer application ready, and we put her to work. If that's not dedication, I don't know what is. I really need to take this opportunity to thank Erica McCroskey for reconnecting us with Kaya, and I'd like to share some of Erica's words today. Kaya is a passionate, smart, and caring volunteer with a heart that is bigger than any one room. She has been a dedicated volunteer with Catholic Peace Ministry in Des Moines for the past few months and continues her activist education and action work with other organizations as well. For the most part, she works independently and is happy to include people of all peaceful backgrounds. We are excited to see her stand and tell her story today. Thank you, Erica, for those words. Dr. King said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." And Kaya, you really embody that quote through your passion and your activism. So please give a warm welcome to Kaya Carter.
Hello, everyone. It's so beautiful to see you guys all here. I will never forget the words my mom once spoke to me during a time where my spirits were low and I almost felt helpless. I turned to my mother in guidance. She said to me, "Kaya, knowledge is the only thing that no one could ever take away from you." Those words shook me as I sat in the back of her car and thought about what that meant to me. See, I was in a place where I felt things had already been taken away from me. But she knew that if there was anything that I could do, it would be my ability to take things, the smallest things, and learn and grow from them. My mother's words would play as a driving force for me as I began to combat the harder things in life. Despite being able to get good grades and stay out of trouble, I still faced roadblocks that I was fortunate enough to get past. By day, I faced bullying by my peers, and at night, I faced homelessness. Schoolwork became more than assignments to me. It became an escape from the torture and rejection I faced during school. For it was the only thing I thought I had to be proud of. It was the only thing I felt no one had taken away from me. During this point in my life, I became aware of my identity as a Black girl, which in return stirred up an eagerness to not only learn about my heritage and culture, but to also embrace it. You're forced to see things in a different light when your skin is darker. I refused to let the way others perceived me, solely based on the pigmentation on my skin, get in the way of the things I knew I was supposed to do. My soul was old. I wanted blues records over Barbies. I read about Sojourner Truths and Frederick Douglass's before I did Junie B. Jones and Harry Potter's. The impact that Black people had in this country intrigued me, and I admired their abilities to take nothing and make it into something beautiful and transformative. The history was something I felt deeply attached to, but it was not something I could rely on my schools to teach me to fully understand. In my quest to better understand my culture, my local libraries became a second home for me, and played a huge role in both my thirst for knowledge and my passion for activism. With my mind curious and always willing to escape for hours into books, I found refuge in my local libraries at a young age. I began to volunteer at the Franklin Library after school. Just being in a space where I could continue to learn and not have to deal with bullying and teasing gave me a sense of relief and comfort. Here was my chance to timelessly engulf in a history I felt closest to. A nurturing process began to take place when I came to these libraries. I dove into books revealing the truth about America during an era that was not too long ago, an era where Black people fought endlessly to simply declare a right to exist in a country that for hundreds of years deemed them as unhuman. This era was the Civil Rights Movement. I read about the stories of perseverance and strength of a people who overcame while the odds were held against them. I idolized both the leaders and the many silent warriors. who made this movement a success. Their stories started a fire within me, one that is still burning to this day. While talking about this groundbreaking movement and the impact that it had on me, it would be remiss of me not to talk about a man who led and inspired hundreds of thousands of people to boldly take a stand against racism and an end to poverty and a push towards peace. A man whose word brought light to the unjust, but also spoke life and encouragement into those who felt voiceless in their attempt to gain equal rights. This man has brought us all here in the same space, 47 years after his death, to remember and honor his legacy as a heroic American leader who sought after the shift and transformation in American society through nonviolent activism. This man, of course, is Martin Luther King. In our community, we are sometimes faced with the misconceptions and judgments concerning the area and the people who inhabit it. When outsiders attempt to cast negative judgment on this community, they are choosing to disregard the sources of refuge, much like this library, that breathe life into this community, into the people of all walks of life who live in it. I am someone who was given life through this library. Amen. Within these walls is a great wealth of knowledge and opportunity. And for those who are willing to simply tap into it, no matter the age or experience or life experience, is a chance to blossom in understanding and gain an all-around appreciation for learning. Without my local library, I could not have afforded the opportunity to read about the direct testaments, stories, events, and historical leaders who have shaped my passion for activism and my ever-growing desire to in-depthly look and learn from my culture and those who have paved the way for me. It is 2015, and although whites-only signs no longer hang on our bathroom doors, the stench of racism and oppression has flawed our community, has flawed our society. Things may be better, but things are not completely have not completely disappeared. We are the ones who will ultimately get to determine if Martin Luther King's legacy of peace and equality will be there for people of all backgrounds 47 years down the line from now, like it has for us now, 47 years after his death. So how beautiful is it to see that his legacy has still captivated the lives of people of all ages, socioeconomic statuses, colors, and religions, in the midst of what some may call our generation's civil rights movement. And may the youth in this building continue to unapologetically acknowledge his strength and his courage. You are excellence. You are bold. And you are capable of excelling far beyond what others may think, and even farther beyond what she may think. Remember that Martin Luther King was just 26 when he led the Montgomery bus boycott. Just 26. Which in return led the U.S. Supreme Court to order the Montgomery bus systems to integrate buses. Let nothing stop you from being as dynamic as you know that you are to be. Take every opportunity as a learning experience. I would like to leave you all with a quote from Martin Luther King. May this encourage you all today as we celebrate a man who died in the midst of his fight for equality. Never, never be afraid to do what's right, especially if the well-being of an animal or person is at stake. Society's punishments are small compared to the wounds we inflict on our souls when we look the other way. Thank you.
Thank you, Kaya.
Everybody's standing up.
Thank you. you, Kaya. It was beautiful. Thank you all for attending today. It really means so much, like I said before, to see such an outpouring from the community. Diane, would you like to come up and speak a little bit about the Fall for Learning Scholarship?
I'd like to depart some knowledge before we all rush into the meeting room and enjoy the cookies and punch that the friends have made. But I have a wonderful opportunity for seniors. And if you're not a senior this year, one day you will be a senior. So this is information for you.
Apparently I'm not qualified.
Information for parents to collect, because if you don't need it this year, there's always next year or whatever year your child gets to be a senior. So here are the requirements. If you are a high school senior with college plans, and you're a Des Moines Public Library card holder, and you visit this library, you can apply for the Fall for Learning Scholarship. Now, Fall for Learning stands for Forest Avenue Library Love for Learning. I have to look it up because every time I do it. And this year, it's the second year, and they have approximately $850. It might be more, but it's getting up there. And I'm thinking, well, I wish I was a senior. I'd apply for it myself. But they told me I was too old.
Oh, darn.
Yes. Applications are due by March 19th, and a month later, they will announce the winner. Right now, you're probably saying, where can I get an application, right? I know you're thinking that, or your parents are saying, well, why didn't you get an application if you're a senior and you're in here? You can get them over there in the teen corner. Now they get this nice, beautiful, colored flyer to give to your parents, so they'll be impressed with you. And here's the application where you have to do the work. And if you're too young this year, there's always next year. Okay? So we want everybody to go to school, some school. Okay, thank you. I'm going to return.
Thank you, Diane. Diane is the president of our Friends of the Forest Avenue Library. Many representatives of the Friends are here today. Would you mind standing if you can, just so we can recognize you and thank you? As Greg said, the Friends have been very involved with this program from the beginning, and continue to be very involved, and are actually hosting a little reception immediately following the program, so basically now. We have an assortment of cookies and refreshments, so please stick around for a little bit, introduce yourselves. And then I also want to tell you about a little community art project we have for children in our conference room, which is, if you walk all the way back and turn right, you'll see Dr. King's profile on a window. And we'd really like the kids to come in and just draw something really quick, inspired by Dr. King and his legacy. And then we're going to put that on display through Black History Month as well. So thanks again for coming. I think it was a wonderful program, and one more round of applause for everyone who participated today. We're going to have the honorees come back for Cookies First and their families. So the winners and the honorees, and Ms. Kaya, if you'd like to go back first, you guys can go ahead and get up and take your families with you and grab a cookie and refreshment.
Yeah. Yep. I'm going to go back with them, so... I will go back for my coat in my bag later.
How are things in class?
passing some of the different sections of this library. This one is not as big as the main library branch, but it's good size for this neighborhood.
Honorees, please, and families only. Honorees and families.
I will. I think some of them are lagging behind. They haven't.
We'll just have to wait until they get here. They got to be served. Honorees and families. Honorees.
I'm just going to stay here and wait for the rest of the winners.
Okay, honorees and families.
Yeah, I just want to say congratulations.
Okay, go ahead. You just got it. Okay.
No, I'm just
Okay, that's a shot. All right, great. Okay.
Diane said they needed people back here, but I'm not sure what to do.
Please use napkins. Honorees and families first. Honorees and families.
Here they come.
Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. How you doing?
There was one of the other kids.
Good. How about you?
I'm doing the same.
Yeah, blessed, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Honorees and families. Honorees and families, please.
There goes one of the other girls.
Huh? Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So you.
I'm live streaming,
Oh, okay. Good for you.
so I'm standing here as a go in. So. I live streamed a lot of the protests. I missed the dying at the school. I didn't know about that one until it was too late. So otherwise, I would have live streamed that.
Thank you.
There are people just chatting around here.
Okay, some people are asking the man to test about this college. Oh, we're in the teen corner. Okay.
I'm not old enough for the teen corner.
Okay, people, let's go. Come on in and get your picture. What time do you want to come?
I'm going to bring my tablet back.
No, go ahead now.
You got two people sleeping on your side, buddy.
Shoot some pictures of the goodie table. So I think it'll work if I do it this way.
I just keep thinking about the why.
Sure. Just popping off a few more pictures. back out here.
She's got the little baby thing. She was about. Alrighty, have a good one. See you tomorrow. I didn't want my mascara for.
Hello. Hello. How are you? Pretty good. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah, this is very comfortable for us. A nice brand. Everything's on one line. We're not. And we do a lot of things, so we're not going to do that today.
Hey, you.
Hey! I passed you.
Yeah? Yeah, how you doing?
Hi. How about you? Oh, pretty good. You got a kiss on both sides. Yeah. This is a cute outfit you have on.
Yeah, it's
Is there any way to
yeah, they come from different sources. Yeah, one of my friends gave me this. It's 3 layers. I have several different styles that someone gave me. So.
Well, you know, I mean, part of it came from
Just ran into a fellow occupier. She was Jane Major. She's an anti-nuke activist, long time, and she is the oldest occupier to put up her tent when we had our camp. And it looks like they're collecting the chairs, so I think I'm going to go ahead and take my stream down. I'll shut my tablet off. I've shot a fair number of pictures. I'll upload those later when I get home. And but before I do take my stream down, I want to thank you for watching, and please check out my donation links below the video view window on my Ustream page. And if you're watching on a live stream, Global Occupied News Network, or any other restream channel, please check out my donation links at www.gofundme.com/OccupierKaylin. That's KAYLYNN. Again, www.gofundme.com/OccupierKaylin. Or, sorry about that, I'm just moving.
See you later. Nice to see you.
Moving things around. You can also go to PayPal at www.paypal.com, and in the send money to line, enter the email address STRAINSOP@AOL.com. Again, www.paypal.com, and in the send money to line, enter the email address STRAINSOP@AOL.com. That will help me cover the cost of my live streaming and broadcasting, so I can continue to bring you these events live and uncut unless I have a signal loss, which I did have, so I apologize for that. But again, do kick me a little currency so I can keep this going. I do this on my own dime. I live on a limited income, and I don't get any support from any corporate entity, and I wouldn't want it even if they offered, because I don't trust them to do me clean. So anyway, do check out my donation links. And again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the streams.